No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I hope not.
We got video footage.
Right.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tea Kettle Topics. I'm Eldridge, and right next to me are my sisters,
D'Artagnan.
Bess.
And Allison.
So, have a sip and a seat. Ooh. You know that pot was over there sizzling when she came in. It had sizzled so much, the water had boiled out. That's how deep it was tonight, y'all. So, I'm afraid for you to touch the kettle, Bess, because you've been in Denver.
Yes.
You need to
I've
warm
been-
on up, girl. Go for me.
I can put some of my secrets in here.
Yes.
All right. Who is going to start?
Mm,
Up to my left.
to the left, to the left.
Let's see.
Oh, let's
Let's
see what's
see
good
what
there
it is.
tonight. You just never know.
I can answer this. So, do men prefer women with curves? What?
Ooh.
What is that?
Curvy.
Is
It's
curvy
curvy the new norm.
Is curvy the preferred body type? Most definitely.
I feel
Why?
like-
Why? I don't care. Don't
They like
talk
something
about
I don't know why. It's just
Not natural curves. I feel like because of social media, people have really idolized skinny women with big booty and big breasts.
Yeah, the only
That's
difference
how I
is
feel.
they have big breasts and big booties. Because when I was growing up, it was skinny women.
Yes. And I feel like y'all not really down with the curvy women, how y'all say y'all are. Y'all don't want this 215 right here.
So,
y'all want skinny with a big booty.
see. I guess mainstream, yes. I don't know who you know, because everybody I know.
Do y'all remember the show The Game?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Malik?
Yeah.
And he was on there. He used to
Oh,
sleep
The
with
Game,
everybody. Remember
yeah.
he slept with the big girl and he didn't want to go in public.
Yep.
And to me, what they call big girls ain't really big girls to me. A 15, 16, even a 20, that's not a big girl to me. That's a girl that like to sit down and eat her food and she got a beautiful body. Not like me. 130 and losing a pound every day.
Well, we ain't gonna be trying to put the weight out there like that, because I'm well above 150, so.
But it ain't the weight, is it? It's what
Yeah,
we
but
do.
you-
It's how we throw it, y'all.
Right,
Hey!
but you're real tall, so I mean,
Right.
like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
slim,
You know,
but you're real
A
tall.
certain amount of weight on one woman might not look the same on another one.
Yeah.
One woman can carry you really,
Yes.
really well, and then another woman, you be like, how much you weigh?
But you know what
Yeah.
I found is that men are either one or the other.
Yeah.
So they either like the top or they like the bottom. Like they
Yes.
either want the big booty girls or they want the big titty girls. So
Well, I'm gonna need
not
somebody
And
over
not
here
too
to
often
do
do
it.
you even have both.
Right,
I
right,
feel like. You
right.
either have one or the other.
Right.
Unless you done had some little,
Some
you know,
augmentation.
I ain't had
Some
no
alterations.
augmentations, but I think I got a little bit of both. A little
Okay.
bit of both. When I
But I
turned
mean,
40, them titties
I guess
was
as far as,
17,
like-
17.
we want to give it to you.
The only way I've ever the only men that I've ever encountered that want a slim woman are generally men that are really into fitness and want a woman that's really into fitness too.
Well, yeah,
Otherwise,
homie.
anybody I know they want something to grab onto.
They want the booty.
Now, what
I mean
about-
all of it.
Oh.
What about women liking curvy men? Well, I can't say curvy men, but
okay,
buck
bears.
fur, yeah.
So
Teddy
here,
bears are muscular.
A
There's
solid
difference.
ass
Yeah.
man.
yeah, cause
Yes.
here's where I have a problem at, is that you have societal mores that scrutinize a woman for being of a certain size, but then you see these really big, fat, oversized men making judgments about how dare you?
Like
You
DJ
know, like-
Khaled or
Hey,
all big and just let it off, and nobody say, oh, he need to lose weight. He need
Right.
to this. I can't even say Rick Ross because he done got the lap band or something. The gastric
Rick, I
bypass
love
or
Rick.
something.
Looks
Right,
so
Rick
good.
Ross ain't big no
Skinny.
more.
Yeah.
I like Rick's
His
beard.
huh ain't even right. He's like, huh.
She said,
They got the depth to it. Oh, y'all wrong.
He gonna hold us up and get
Y'all
us
better
wrong.
leave Ricky alone.
We love Ricky. We love your beard. That's
Okay.
for sure.
All right, Rick.
Who loves some
Call
beards?
me Rick.
Moving on.
LinkedIn.
You got two.
Dun, 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 dun. Who
Right, that's a double-sided one.
How do you lift up your girlfriends? Wait.
Just stop right there.
Yeah.
There must have been some old
That's
notes.
two. But that's how do you lift up your girlfriends?
How do you lift up your girlfriends?
With your legs, not your back.
Wait, speak that one more time.
One more time with your legs and
With
bend
your
at the
legs,
knees.
not with your back.
Bend at the knees, people. Bend at the knees.
And she ain't a mess.
Let's go. That was a good one. That was nothing else needed for that.
Walk her down. We gotta go.
I'll take one. That one was good. I think that one was good. With your knees.
It just came out.
It came out good, mama.
Okay, this one is how do you feel about being surprised by your mate? So, for example, they may have a special weekend planned for you. Do you like surprises? How do you feel about that?
I do like surprises as long as you know what my weekend entails because I'm all over the place most of the time. So as long as we had a conversation and I said, I ain't got really nothing planned this weekend. Let's hang out. Let's do something. And you surprise me with something. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you plan it from the morning when I wake up till I go to bed at night. I'm going to roll with it.
I know that's
good
right.
with that.
Yes.
How about you?
I like surprises. I feel like it also depends on what kind of surprise.
Okay.
I'm more of a words of affirmation, acts of service kind of love language. So I don't really care about material gifts. So as long as you know what I like. I like the sentimental stuff. So I think as long as you know what I like and
That's exactly what I was gonna say. As long as you know the things that I like, because if somebody surprised you and you were like, oh, what is this? That is truly ungrateful because they took their time to plan something.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're gonna take the time out to plan something that is supposed to be special, you should know them well enough to know the things that they like and they don't like.
Right.
You plan on something and it's something that they absolutely hate. You know what I mean? It's kind of a double-edged sword. You don't want to seem ungrateful, but at the same time,
yeah, you have to be honest too if it's not something that you like because they might do it again.
Yeah,
you
right.
Double indemnity.
Right. You cooked again? You cooked tonight again?
That don't taste good, baby.
It didn't taste good the first time and it's
So
rolled out.
you have to be honest in it, but I will roll with it the entire day. And we can have a conversation about it later on. What did you like? What didn't you like? Because if there's something in the process that I just absolutely cannot deal with, we'll deal with it at that point. But everything else, if I can roll with it, I'm rolling with it. We'll talk about it before we go to bed at night. Look, I didn't really appreciate us going to bed. I didn't really want to spend 2 hours over here at the, whatever. But
Yeah.
you got to be okay with having a conversation too,
I think
communication.
that's key. And I think the point about really knowing the person, if you really know somebody, you do kind of have a feel for what it is. But I think when you're early on in a relationship, how do you feel about surprises early on in the relationship? Because you don't really know the person, you're testing the waters, and there may be some boundaries that you cross that you didn't intend. So what about new in the relationship? What do you think?
I think it's good because you may give me something that I have never experienced.
Okay.
So I don't know if I've never experienced it. So if you finna show me something that I'm gonna have to go with it and say, I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not, but I guess we gonna see.
We finna see.
I just had that experience.
Right.
With a dinner, he hired a chef and they made dinner and I was shocked and it was amazing.
Okay.
That was something that I've never had, but that's something that we mutually like. We both like food, so it didn't take too much thought to know
how we both want to eat.
let's hire somebody to cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really thoughtful.
See, and for me, I kind of like surprises, but I have boundaries. Y'all know me, the control freak. I got some boundaries around my surprises. One, I don't like road trips. I don't. Because the thing about it is you driving on down this dusty ass road and then by the time you get there, you tired as hell. Then you have a really good ass time and then you got to leave and get back on the dusty ass road and drive home again. No, fly me where you gonna fly me. Let me touch down. Let me enjoy every single minute of all the time that I'm gonna have with you. Put me back on the plane and let me get back, have an extra day so I can get, into the groove and go back to work. Now that surprise I can deal with, okay?
Right, you better have some.
Let me just make it clear. That's my surprise. I don't do road trips. I don't like them.
Right.
I don't. I like the experience of getting where I'm going, getting it done, and getting on back. You heard it here first.
See, I like road trips. I want to stop over
like
here
road
and I want to
trips,
see
too.
that. I
do
want to
too.
go to the winery over here. I want to taste the apples over there. I want to go over here and see what kind of food they got
Taste
over
them
here.
at my
I want a
destination.
quickie over there. I'm like,
She was like,
There's a thing called the Mile High Club, and I'm down
I'm trying to be a
for that.
part of that.
I'm
be a part of
so
that
down
too.
for that.
I'm trying to be a part of
On
it.
a private plane though, okay?
Right.
Let me just make that perfectly clear. We ain't talking about coaching, we ain't talking about domestic, we talking about private plane here, okay? So you know what time it is, alright?
come on, you can do
all right, come on.
Next
regular
topic.
airplane.
Come on, sister.
Let me see. Ooh, I feel like we should be making some sounds. Like,
Anything.
okay. It says, how old were you when you first fell in love?
Ooh, yes. Do you
I'll
remember?
pass.
Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
I don't even.
How old were you when you first fell in love with yourself then?
Oh, I know that's right. I was.
Yeah, so it don't have to be somebody else. How old were you when you fell in love with you?
I was
40.
What's your frequency? You were 40?
I was 40.
Tell us what was the catalyst that pushed you in that direction?
I had gone through 2 divorces.
Okay.
In the process of me learning myself, I learned to love myself because I was always so focused on everybody else around me. I never took the time to focus on myself. I never took the time to love myself the way I deserve to be loved. So it took until I was clear of all of that, the husbands, the men, that dealing with all that, for me to learn to love myself. So I was literally 40. Like when I turned 40, I got titties, I got body, I got started looking out sexy.
Okay.
I'm like,
I ain't
whoa,
loving myself
wait.
enough.
Is that what happened when you start loving on yourself? You get to popping out all over the place. But seriously though, it took me to get past the relationships and me constantly being focused on somebody else and focused on taking care of everybody but me.
Yeah.
Now my focus is taking care of me. So I am the selfish
I don't blame you.
in me right now.
It's
So
all about me.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think maybe I was 17, but I feel like falling in love with yourself is a continuous process because
Okay,
I
come
feel
on,
like
say that.
every time I overcome something, I just fall in love with myself again. So when I was 17, I graduated high school, which it might not seem like nothing, but when you come from a family where no woman graduates high school, no woman even becomes 17 without having a child already, it was like that was such a huge accomplishment that if I had never done anything beyond graduating high school, that I would have felt just so accomplished.
Yeah, you broke the cycle, so you did big things in your whole, your family, to be that person that breaks what they call the generational curse.
the generational curse.
So you do need to love yourself and be proud of that, because I believe that it takes a stand-up person to step away and say, I'm not going to be part of the status quo. I'm not going to fall into what the norm is for the area, because I am not my environment. That's what you're saying. You brought yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Allie?
I fell in love with myself just this year.
Hey!
And
Sister, yes.
after a very long time, I finally realized I've never loved myself before. And once I fell in love with myself, I think I realized that I don't think I've actually been in love with anybody else before. That, I've loved people, but the way it feels to just want happiness and not, and be at peace and not want to, it made me realize that what I felt for other people was not being in love. It was some love, but some lust, some just wanting something. And I mean, my entire life, whether it was my father or people that I've dated, I've always been told that I was nothing, I was not good enough, I would never be, and I that's how I live my life, that, it just is what it is, and this is how I am. And it took ending a relationship and venturing out a little bit to realize my own value, my own worth. And once I saw it, I was head over heels in love of me.
Right.
And for me, that extends to everybody else. That I know they say you shouldn't say you can't love somebody else until you can love yourself. But part of that's kind of true. You can have love for other people, but till you know what it truly feels to care about a human being, really what it matters, it's hard for you to extend that to other people in the same capacity that like selfless love.
I think it has to do a lot with self-talk. And when I talk about self-talk, they talk about self-talk and anger management. I was teaching this class on anger management. It was like, what do people tell themselves about who they really are? That's what drives behavior. And I think about people like, I always listen to Joel and Victoria Osteen in the morning. I listen to people like Les Brown, read all of these self-help books. But the one common thread that comes there is the one thing that Les Brown, as well as Joel, as well as Jim, and anybody that I've listened to, they tell you, they challenge you to go stand in front of the mirror and deal with you and love you in your wholeness of who you are, in your rawness of who you are when you wake up in the morning, when you got sleep in your eyes and your nose is running and you ain't brushed your teeth. You're supposed to still go in that front of that mirror and say, oh, I love me. I'm the most beautiful person in the world. Because if you don't do it and you think about all the things that you come up against in the world, all of the different things. There's a lot of things out there that are going to beat you down in the course of the day. That person that's going to give you the finger, the person that on your job that just ain't right, the people that don't speak. So all of those things. So that's why I think it's so important, like Whitney Houston when she was singing the greatest love of all, learning to love yourself. That is the greatest love of all.
It is.
I think for me, it's a process. It's a road. It's a possible road that I'm still traveling. It's a journey. There's a lot of things that people go through in their life that, of course, we're all different, and yet we are still the same because we're human and we breathe and we got hearts that beat. But I think the self-talk that we gives us, it does a lot of harm. And I think that what has happened is it takes me as someone of my generation to be around these young women to understand the value and that it's okay to say something good about yourself, because I come into the generation of boomers, and in the boomers, everything was about you do everything for everybody else, and it was taboo, or it was like you were the worst person on earth if you really stopped and really did things for yourself. So here I am at 61, looking in the mirror every morning, trying to tell myself, girl, you beautiful, you bad, you bodacious, all of those types of things, and something still does not sit right with me. So as I go through this journey with my sisters, eventually I'm going to figure that out. But in the meantime, while you're waiting, we need you to subscribe to our channel. We need you to share this channel with other people. We need you to like, and we need you to add comments and give us ideas for show topics. Again, your voice is the voice that we want to hear, and we're here to articulate what your thoughts are. So on that note, what we want to do is we want to tell you to have a great week. Again, subscribe to Voices Randomish. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we want to know, what's your frequency?
Ooh, toast, ladies.
That was good. That was energy was there. Yes.
That was a great conversation.
All right, so we can make sure they go in the garbage.
That was a really great conversation.
It was good.
Slide that in there. You just gonna slide that on there.
Y'all know how I slide
Just gonna slide that on in
I'll
there.
slide that in.
You just slip
Right,
it,
because apparently that's what he did too. He just lied that
Okay, now
just
before
gonna slide that
17 minutes, y'all. 17. That was good. So here's the deal. While we're here, we said 2:30 on Sunday. All right, and we're gonna record. What we'll do is we're gonna record those two topics that we talked. The one with the children and the one with the women. We'll get really deep in there, and then we can do tea kettle topics. We can talk all kind of bullshit until we get tired, and I can make clips and
Several
turn them
segments
off.
out of it.
We can do 5 minutes, start talking about some shit, turn it off, and then what you do is it says, do you want to air these at a later date? You put in the date and the time that you want it to air, and I can just have them go up like that.
Perfect.
So I figured that's what we would do over the next couple of weeks, and then that way you can have your time to study.
Yes.
The pajama party, we're going to do the 23rd. So if we do Sunday and we do the pajama party, we would have enough stuff to be on we'll have enough content on our channel, I think, probably to carry us all. If we do it right, we could carry ourselves to the end of the year.
Now-
Because that pajama party, we could get a lot.
Now, are we doing what kind of pajamas? Does it matter? Are we doing a theme?
We doing both.
We're doing both. So the first part of the night, we thought we would do just crazy pajamas, whatever we wanted, onesies, whatever, because we'll be all up live and everything, jumping around, all that kind. We also probably gonna have like singing. We just gonna have fun, and I'm just gonna turn the fucking tapes on at certain times. Y'all ready? Y'all want to take this? Let's just.
But this is also our movie date, right?
What movie day, baby?
I thought
we doing movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
We gonna watch Girlfriends. Okay, because you never.
The TV show.
Yeah, we gonna do some.
Can we watch Girls Trip?
We can watch Girls Trip. We can watch Girls Friends. And the reason why I want to watch Girls Friends.
We want to talk about Girlfriends because they trying to re-air that. So
and we gonna shout them out. So we have to watch Girlfriends. And we got to talk. The question is, and the reason why you gonna watch this. The question that I'm having is so we can prep for this is, which Girlfriend's character do you most identify with and why? We already talked about.
Which one did y'all say?
I know I'm John Clayton because
What did y'all say? I thought.
She's Lynn.
I'm Tony.
She's Tony. You're Brooke. You're Maya. You're Maya. You're Maya. When you gonna love Maya.
Really?
Oh hell yes.
I'm the crazy.
Oh hell yes.
Of course.
Little man.
Which one is
She's
Tracy
perfect.
Ellis?
That's me, Joan.
Joan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stuck
I never
up.
really got into
You
it,
are Golden
but
Brooks, which is Maya, the one who was married to that cute guy.
She caramel skin with the straight hair.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's you. You Goldie all the time. This is definitely Lynn over here. When y'all watch the show,
Lynn is the mixed girl that's
the Afrocentric.
Yes, and that fits Allie's personality.
She's so
this one quick witted, like Tony
Child.
Child. Darn remind me of when she looked down and Tony Child said, "Excuse me, little man, you gotta be this high to ride this ride."
Oh yeah,
that's what reminds me
that
of
is
Tony. That is definitely Dar. That is her. And you know what I thought about when like the people at work when you just really want to tell them, oh hell yes. Oh hell yes, she had that book. She had Oh Hell Yes was the name of her book, and Oh Hell Yes 2 was gonna be the other one. I was rolling. So and then
where we gonna get Girlfriends from?
I have wrote Girlfriends.
Oh, you got it.
I can get that ain't no problem. I can get that. That ain't no problem. I either download that. You can get that on YouTube right now. Yeah, girl.
Okay, and then
and look. I just let it run. It's good. That's not that tape. That's this one. That's mine that I can edit.
Okay.
But you can clip.
Yeah, I can clip. Look, because what I can do is put 15-second clips on Instagram, which they love those.
Yeah. Okay. So Girls Trip, Girlfriends. Okay.
Girls Trip, Girlfriends, and anything else y'all want to watch. I think that there might be some fucking comedy in there too. Have you ever seen?
Have you seen Girls Trip?
Girl, yeah.
I was gonna say.
Have you ever seen the Queens of Comedy?
Hell yes.
We need to watch that shit some
Here
more.
come the motherfucking side effects.
We got it. We got the Girls Friends, Girls Trip.
Some more gonna be in Chicago. I think in February.
Really?
If
the
weather's right, we could go. But that fucking weather, I won't know.
Yeah, that shit.
That's not
girl. No, I can't be at O'Hare. You right. It will have you sitting down, laying down,
Chicago is 3 hours away. We not flying.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We're not flying to no Chicago.
No.
Hell no.
I do.
What?
It's 3 hours away.
I ain't flying to Chicago. We'll meet you there.
Shit. I be up. I be down. I be chilling like this. Hey, J. Cole.
We'll meet you there.
No, if we go. Now, here's the deal.
Shit, I ain't rolling on the
No, I was by
street
myself. Now, here's the deal.
Which one?
I don't. No, that must be whatever he put in there. But feel free.
No.
Feel fucking free.
Hey, is it okay if I raise here? Am I out of shot?
You go right ahead. Okay. Whatever you want, you go right ahead. I got you.
Am I good?
That's off. That's turned off.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's because I thought you were still recording.
Oh,